Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to a huge video that we're going to be going over right now. We're going over the game rule command, a massive command. It consists of not just the game rule command, but a lot of sub-commands where you can put into it. So this is going to be a pretty big video, so keep your ears pierced, and yeah, we're going to have to go over quite a lot. So essentially what the game rule command is, if you want a summary, is it essentially allows you to change different values in the game. Some of them are pretty complex and you might not even need to know them, but some of them are pretty essential. If you want to do like a server or something, you need to know some of them. And I'll go over which ones you pretty much need to know for a server. I'm going to make it daytime because, you guys probably can't see. So let's just do that. And then let's get right into it. So we're going to type into the search bar /gamerule. And it'll bring up all of the different commands. You can see all of them right here. We're going to go over every single one and essentially what they do. So the first one is command block output. Now I have a little website here on the left hand side from 𝗙𝗂𝗁𝗃𝗃. I would highly suggest you guys go to that website. It'll essentially allow you to learn in your own time without having to refer to this video. But obviously I'll go over everything that is on this website anyway. So I've got descriptions for each and every single one of these commands so that you guys all know what these all do. So we've got command block output. So what this essentially does is the description says, is whether command blocks notify admins when commands are executed. Now this is especially useful when you're using things like repeating command blocks. Because repeating command blocks will continuously do that command and give you a message each and every time that command is done. And it does it like 20 times a second. So you're going to be getting 20 messages per second. So it's pretty wise to do this right here, game rule command block output false, just so that you don't get all their messages. If you are going to be using things like repeating command blocks and stuff, if you aren't going to be using them, you can just keep on true and you'll just be getting messages each and every time. But if you don't like them messages, then you can just disable it. So that's the first one. That's one down. Another however many to go. So now we have command blocks enabled. So by default, I'm pretty sure command blocks enabled is enabled, but you can disable them. Now what that means is you can still put command blocks down, you can do the little /give command block, whatever command. You can get a command block, you can put it down on the ground, you can place it, but when you go into the command block and type something in, it'll never actually do that command. It'll never actually, do that command, which is actually really good. This is a really nice little game rule in case a lot of things go wrong with commands. And that is sometimes what happens. I've sometimes in the past spawned like 100 withers with a repeating command block. And like it's basically nearly crashed my game because of all these like mobs that it's spawning, and I obviously can't get close to the command block to like disable it because that's where the withers are spawning. So in that sense, I could use this command right here and essentially disable the command block from spawning anything else just by this command, far away from anything, and essentially just kill everything with a kill command afterwards. So it's a nice little thing that you can do here. I would definitely note this one down on how to use it because it's a very important one, especially if you have someone who is, as I say, going to spawn a load of stuff and you want to disable all command blocks right there and then. So that's it right there. Disable command blocks right there has been updated to false. And right there, that essentially means they're disabled. So that's that command right there. Now we have the next one, which is do daylight cycle. This one is literally just very simple, very self-explanatory. It essentially means whether the time advances in the day-night cycle. If it's set to false, then the time will stop at the current moment. So let's just demonstrate that. I've set it to false, and as you can see, the sun is not moving. We've stopped time with this command. Now you can do this normally with just the settings stuff. I'll actually mention which commands you can just do in this area here. Where even is it? Yeah, here it is. Do daylight cycle right there. It's now obviously off. So you can do quite a lot of these game rules just by the settings, but some of them you can't. So I'll go over which ones you can just do in the settings. So it might just be a little bit easier for you guys to do that way. Then we have do entity drops. You can do this in the settings as well. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused, obviously, by this command. I'm pretty sure it is a recent command that's been added, and that is why I'm a little bit confused. And I'm pretty sure it refers to entities, such as this chicken right here, dropping loot, such as eggs. So once again, you can change this command, but it doesn't refer to killing the entity. It still drops items when you kill them, and it doesn't refer to things like boats and armor stands and redstone over blocks when you break it from underneath. It doesn't refer to any of that. I'm pretty sure it refers to when things like chickens lay eggs. So when entities give you loot, like that. So very confusing game rule, I have to admit. But I've explained it at least right now. Now we'll get to the other two later on, but that is what that one does. Now we're gonna do hold on. We're gonna do the next one right now, which is the do fire tick one. So what this one does is it says right here whether the fire should naturally spread and then extinguish. So when you do put fire down, it will try to latch on to any burnable surface, whether it be grass or trees. Now if this is set to false, then it will try and do that less, obviously. So if I put fire down right here, it will where's the flint and steels? There it is. I can never find stuff. If I do this right here, you can see it'll likely just burn this one bit of leaf right here, and then that'll be it. There'll be no spreading, there'll be nothing like that. It'll just burn this one leaf, and that'll be it. There'll be no catching of fire of the entire tree. As you can see, there's no spreading, so I'll just let that go now. So that's about it for that one. Now let's get on to the next one. So the next one is do immediate respawn. There it is right there. Now this one you can once again do in the settings window. So immediate respawn, essentially when you die, you have a little screen that pops up that says respawn or exit to lobby or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know what it is. If you just press respawn, it'll just put you back to your respawn point. Spawn point or world spawn, whatever it is. Now if you disable this right here, do immediate respawn, and then put it to true, sorry, I've done the wrong one, put it to true, then this means that when you do die, you don't get that screen, you just immediately spawn where you are supposed to, which is especially good for maps, like parkour maps, stuff like that, so that whenever you do die, you don't have to keep clicking the respawn button over and over and over again. You just immediately spawn where you're supposed to spawn, which is pretty nice. So let's get into the next one. So the next one is do insomnia. So this one is a little bit confusing, but I'll try and explain it the best I can. So when you are pretty sleepy in the game, I guess you could say, when you haven't slept in a while, phantoms spawn, and people complained about phantoms for so long, so there is now a command in the game to essentially disable phantoms from spawning. So after however many nights of not sleeping, phantoms would normally spawn. If you put this to false, then phantoms will no longer spawn at night when you haven't slept in a while, in survival mode. Now, the sad thing is this is essentially cheating, but I think it should be a normal feature of the game, because phantoms are so annoying, but I guess it is a thing there if you do want to enable it. Alright, so let's get into the next one right now. So we have do mob loot. Okay, so this is the one that I was on about before, is whether mobs drop loot. So if we set this to false right now, and then spawn a chicken, and then kill the chicken, it should not... It doesn't drop anything, as you can see here. It doesn't even drop XP. So it drops absolutely nothing. Now, what that could be useful for, I don't know. But I guess if you got like a lot of animals and stuff that you need to kill and you don't want it to lag out the game or something, you just turn that setting off and they won't drop anything. Could be a possibility, I don't know, but that's something that you could do. Then we got the next one, which is do mob spawning. Once again, you can control this in the settings panel, and we are going to do false. So now you can see, we might see a couple mobs around here, like this chicken that I spawned earlier, but if we load in new chunks, you'll see that we won't actually be seeing any mobs anywhere because we've turned this setting off. Mobs will no longer spawn anywhere, in fact. I believe even in the end, the Ender Dragon mightn't even spawn. I don't know that. Maybe you can comment down below if he does or not, because or if she does, because I don't know. I haven't tested that out, but that's the basic premise of it. Mobs will no longer spawn. You can spawn them still, though. Like if I spawn on a little chicken on top of this tree, yep, he will just stay there. He will just stay there until I kill him, or if I unload chunks or whatever, and then come back. So that's what that one does. Okay, so the next one is do tile drops. So this one you can once again do in the settings panel, and what essentially this one does is, if we do false right here, it is this one that I was on about before with the redstone. If I break the block underneath it, it will not give me that redstone. Same with armor stands. If I break it, it will not give us that, and boats as well, it will not give me them. So just a nice little thing. Same with the sugarcane, I guess, as well. You see, it won't drop all them as well. It's just a nice little thing to have if you don't want items to be popping up everywhere. So very much the tile drops one and the mob loot one are both hand in hand, kind of got the similar uses, and that chicken is making its way down that tree now. So yeah, that's basically what that one does. Now we got the next one, which is do weather cycle. So this one you can once again control in the settings panel. We are going to be getting to some that you can't in a minute. But we're going to do weather cycle, false. Sorry if my controller is a bit loud. I've got a new one. So we're going to do weather cycle false. And essentially what that means is it will no longer rain in the world, pretty much. And if it was currently raining, it will no longer not rain. So it's pretty interesting, this command, because if you are making like a special map or something where you want it to constantly be raining, then you can do this right here. Simply just by a command, wait until it rains, then disable weather cycle, and then boom, you have yourself some constant rain or constant clear skies where it doesn't rain. That sun is still stuck in time as well. Alright, so I'm going to end the first part of this here, and yes, I did say part, because I am separating this off into two different segments, or two different videos, because there's a lot. This is only half of them down right now. There's still quite a lot of them to go, though the second half is way more simpler. I think there's a lot more commands that you would probably understand a bit better in that half. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.